Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hanging with Web show. I'm GW Pomichter, and we are here on HWWS WebTV hanging out right now with author Elaine Ewertz. Did I pronounce that right?
It's Ewertz, close enough.
Ewertz.
Close enough.
Ewertz. E-W-E-R-T-Z. You try to pronounce that, okay? Right now, you. I know he's going to try over and over and over again until he gets it right, okay?
Good.
Which is good because then you can Google it, because then you can find out what author Elaine Ewertz is doing online. She is the author of the Black Shadow series. Okay. Well, thank you for hanging with us, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Love the Christmas outfit.
Thank you.
Digging it here. All right. For those of you who are watching this maybe after the fact, we're not sure when you're watching it because that all depends on when I edit it. But we are celebrating the Christmas season here. We are at the Melbourne Square Mall with Authors in a Box, sponsored this year by the Brevard Writers Guild. And we're excited to be here. This is an awesome
I'm excited
time.
to be here.
Meeting some readers.
Yeah, a little bit. Hoping
Yeah?
it picks up a little bit more, but
Yeah, well,
so
it's
far.
Christmas at the mall. We should be okay,
I
maybe.
think,
It's,
yeah.
you know, as gambles go, that's not bad.
People might be shopping a little bit. We're hoping.
We're hoping. Yeah, because you know the best thing that you can do is meet an author, like a book, and then buy the book.
Yeah, we want you to buy the book. That's very important.
That's really important because that's how we can write the next one.
That's key to the
Yeah.
process.
So, all right. So tell us about the Black Shadow series.
So it's a 4-book series.
4 books. Okay.
Yep, and this is the first. And it's a fantasy thriller series.
Okay.
Kind of dark romance, fantasy.
Wow.
Kind of a little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah, we checked it out online a little bit, and I was seeing you just kind of threw everything in the kitchen sink in there.
Yeah, I put
You got a
everything in
little
that I like.
supernatural going, a little thriller,
There's a
some
little-
suspense, some romance.
Yes, everything that I love. There's some Celtic mythology, that's the fantasy element.
Nice.
And then there's demigods and goddesses, but it's very much set in the real world. Those are just,
As most,
they're just kind of there. You know, like
as they would
demigods,
be.
but
I
you
mean,
don't.
come on. They don't want to mess us up too badly.
No, you
most of
don't-
the time. Every myth I've ever read, by the way, they do want to mess us up pretty badly. Yeah.
They do.
They're very
mess,
mischievous.
They do mess with people. Yes.
They do mess
book,
with people quite a bit.
a little bit.
So, as we pointed out, there's a lot going on here. There's a very eclectic mix
Yeah.
of kind of genre bending going on here. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
What drew you to want to write in that style?
I like all of your imagination isn't limited at all with it. You can make anything happen. You can use
Just-
magic. The demigod in here, the bad guy, he can erase your memory and implant new memories as he wishes.
Fun
He's a great
trick
He's
if
a
you
great
can pull
catch.
it off. Yeah, great catch.
He's a great guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's like every guy. That's like the magic
He's a little
power everybody would want.
manipulative. We put it that way.
Yeah, because you've got some romance happening here.
Yes.
And let's face it, folks. If in our romantic state, we are manipulative. That's what we do to survive.
Yeah, everybody is. So he's just doing what he has to do.
And so he's moving to the next level though,
Yes,
because he's
but
got
he
that whole
has-
demigod thing going
He
on.
does.
Yeah,
has a
which,
leg up on everybody.
Hate that guy already, by the way. That messes things up for the normal guys all the time.
Yeah, it's not fair.
It's really
It's
not.
not
So this is book 1, The Devil You
Yes.
Know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give us kind of the book blurb. Where are we starting? Where do we dive into your world?
So Cecilia, the main character, has just accidentally killed her ex-husband. It is an accident. She's not
This
even
is the part
100%.
where on the bottom of the screen we have. Was an accident.
She did, and she doesn't even know really what happened. It's kind of a whole story there. And so she thinks no one knows. And then this is where a demigod enters. A mysterious man shows up, and he knows her secret. And he's the only one who knows. And so we've got to figure out how he knows.
He's
what
a demigod. Do the math.
He's been watching her maybe a little bit. He might be a little obsessed with
So
her.
he's a stalker demigod. So that's always fun.
He's so charming.
This guy gets better every minute. I mean, come on.
He's
What's not to
great.
love, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he blackmails her, basically. And then because of his, I don't want to give away too much, but because of his manipulative talents, he she falls in love with him. As you do, someone who blackmails you, right?
Sometimes that happens.
It happens.
Like half the girls on the internet are like, dude, I've been there.
Right? Yeah,
Really?
it's very relatable.
It is. So
It's very relatable.
she had a bad breakup. She had to
drawn
write it
from
all
my
down.
life
I don't know
experience
why.
at all.
Not how many? You have 4 books in the
There's
series.
4 books.
There's 4 books.
Yeah.
All right, let's kind of go through it. The second one is.
So the second one.
Without spoiling the first one, that's hard, isn't it?
That's
yeah.
the thing. The second one is I have to spoil.
How about the title of the second
The
one?
second one is Shadow House.
Shadow House.
Shadow
See,
House.
nothing spoiled there. So after you get done with.
Part of it takes place in a house. It's true.
She's not telling you which part though. You gotta.
A lot of it.
You gotta buy the book to find out about which part.
A lot of it.
So the devil you know, Shadow House,
The
and
third one is Eternal.
Eternal.
That's a spoiler in and of itself.
Big book. It's a long book.
It never stops.
Never stops. She's fun. I like her. Thank you. This was a good way to start the day. And
a
then
lot
the
of
fourth
coffee.
one. Fourth one is
Ageless. I had to think about that for a minute.
ageless because you're eternal.
Ageless.
You got to be ageless. Otherwise,
Yeah,
that's going to show.
it makes sense.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
Exactly.
So you threw all these things together in this gender or genre bending. I was going to say gender bend. I spent way
Maybe
too
a little
much
bit
at
of
comment.
that too. No.
You don't know.
Maybe
you
that's
have
the
to
next
read
series.
the book. She's already planning. She's there.
I like it.
How long have you been writing professionally?
Let's see. I started the first one in 2012-ish.
Okay.
So what is that? 7 years?
Thereabouts.
Almost 8.
Almost 8 because
Almost
it's almost the new year. It might be
Yeah.
the new year. You might be watching us from the future. Just sit on that for a minute, okay? So, how has the journey been?
It's been exciting. It's been
Yeah?
a lot of fun. I get to do fun events like this and meet readers and
Other
just-
writers.
Yes.
Isn't that that's always great?
oh my God, I've made so many amazing writer friends. I love it.
It is what an amazing community to be part
It
of.
really
The creative
is.
arts community is unlike any other business community
It really
in
is.
that when you know, if you're in, no matter what you do, if you're in a plumbing business or electric, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the guy next door to you that's in the same business is your competitor.
Right.
But when it comes to the creative arts,
Mm-hmm.
the person sharing a table next to you is just sort of, they are excited about your success
Right.
as they are about theirs.
Exactly, and it's so different. All of our books are so different. So I don't feel like it's a competition.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
See, demigods, romance, like everyone.
Gender bending.
Gender bending. We haven't even done that yet, but she's got a whole thing happening right now. By the time we finish the interview, her next book is half written in her mind. This
much.
part this is the hard part.
I'm typing right now in my brain.
You're typing in
I have
your
a
brain.
typewriter in my brain.
That would be so awesome, by the way.
It would
That's
be.
if you want to. An entire industry of people would lose their minds if you could somehow just hook our computers up to our brains.
I'm sure Apple will come out with it next year.
Probably. It's in development already. Steve Jobs probably had it in development before he died.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I understand that our good friend Jamie Engel makes some candles for you to go along with your books.
She did. I wish I would have brought one over to show you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's.
What does the Black Shadow series smell like?
Well, right now it smells like apple cinnamon.
Like apple cinnamon.
Yes. It's a little spicy, a little sweet.
There's a lot. Oh, look at that. Look at that behind the camera. They are so good. Look. Oh, this is the
Here it
apple
is.
cinnamon, the devils.
The devil you know.
The devil you know from the Shadow, the Black Shadow series.
I mean, it's amazing.
This is.
It's amazing. Right?
Oh wow, yeah.
It's delicious.
And surprisingly Christmassy.
Yeah.
Considering.
That was kind of the idea. Well, yeah, so.
I mean,
you've got the
didn't see
dark
that
and
coming,
twisted
did
book,
you?
and then you've got the Christmassy nice candle.
So you get this really disarming scent as you're reading.
Comforting.
And then, bam, she hits you with the manipulative demigod.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very deceiving.
It's very, yeah. Which is what we do.
Yeah.
We're storytellers, and the best part about telling stories is kind of the gotcha moments. Those moments when you can see it in a
That's
reader's eyes.
my favorite part, is the twist. That's
And
my
when
favorite
you get
part.
there,
Ah.
so what are your favorite books? What are the books and the writers that have spoken to you?
So, interestingly enough, I don't read a lot of fantasy books like this, but I read a lot of psychological thrillers. So,
Okay. Biggest influences?
The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine.
Yes.
Love that. Very twisty and dark. Stephen King, probably going way back to
Wow.
my childhood.
Yeah.
That was like probably the first one.
Which is great.
Yeah.
If you go back to those early King novels too,
Yes.
he's a master of that suspense and not showing you the monster until
know.
way later.
So amazing.
You don't really realize, even go something as overtly monstrous as like Salem's Lot. We don't
Yeah.
really get what's happening until way in.
It's true.
By the time it's revealed that, hey, guess what? These are monsters, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, my favorite short story from him is 1408,
Oh,
which I
wow.
think was made into a movie like years and
Yes.
years ago. That one really, really inspired me a lot.
It's amazing because, you know, despite the fact that King laces his universe with the supernatural, it's really not the supernatural that is the antagonist for those stories. It's other people.
I know.
We are not nice to one another.
Nope. Nope.
And King likes to point it out exactly how many ways we're not
Yes.
nice to one another. And
Yeah.
which is really an interesting thing that you're doing with your work in bending those genres together is, you know, you may give this character's a demigod, but he's just a guy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's a guy. He's
is.
manipulative. He's all the things that the worst impulses of us.
Exactly.
And those are all human impulses. We
Yeah,
didn't make
he's-
those up. Those aren't unique to the gods, as it
No,
were.
he's like the worst part of human.
Yeah.
Of a human, I guess.
And you just pick that out and you say, and guess what? He's doing okay.
because he has
that's
powers.
yeah.
So he can get away with it.
So, oh, I like that question. We'll actually, this time we'll pay attention to her because she
Okay.
actually has an insightful
All right.
question. Okay. So, the best line that you can remember writing, the aha moment for you when you were writing, best line, best paragraph that you wrote in this series
That I wrote?
that you felt really good about. Like at that
Oh,
moment, you were like,
gosh.
"Oh, I've got this."
Well, I can't remember like a specific line.
Is there a moment in the book though, a chapter somewhere where you were
Yes.
just like,
So
"This
for-
is it. I got something here."
Yes, so for the first book, it's the last chapter. The entire book is written from Cecilia's point of view, the protagonist, and then
Okay.
the last chapter is written from Aiden, the charming demigod. So it hits you at the end. It's like we get like the truth of like what he's really up to, and like it just hits you. And meanwhile, you know, this whole time she's been thinking one thing, the reader's been thinking one thing, and then
He hits you with
he
what's
tells
actually
you
going
what
on.
he's really planning.
Wow.
Yeah,
And so
that's
that
exciting.
moment of shifting perspectives for
Yes,
you.
that's my favorite part is switching POVs.
That's actually awesome. It really is.
It's fun.
Perspective is something that writers are often very timid about playing with.
I love it.
Because if the transition isn't
Mm-hmm.
very well done, it can rip the reader from their suspension of
Yeah,
disbelief.
it is
and
hard.
It just takes them in like, oh, we just did something weird here.
Yep,
But if it's really done well,
it is hard, but yeah.
that shift, that transition, again, it's the aha moment, the
That's
twist
my
right near
favorite.
the end.
That's
That is my shut up card.
okay.
She made us look up for an insightful question only so she could do that to us.
Wrong.
You see, it is. She's tricky, that one. You got to watch her every minute. Guys, we have to wrap it up here. We've been hanging out with author Elaine Ewertz, and we are going to say thank you to our partners and friends at Famous Faces and Funnies, J. Bauer Art, for all this fantastic art on the set this week. Our great friends at Space Coast Comics and Indie Originals, our good friends over at Hearts Helping Others of Central Florida, and our great friends right here in Brevard County at Brevard Film and Talent. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for logging on and tuning in. We hope that you will hit subscribe, come back over and over again. We are the Hanging With Web Show, and we've been hanging out with author Elaine Ewertz, the author of the Black Shadow series. The links are down below. Click and buy a book. It's Christmas. Give it to someone. It's Hanukkah. Give it to someone. It could be, I don't know all the other holidays, but it's one of them, and somebody deserves to have a really twisted gift. Right there. That's the one. Okay? So do it, okay? Subscribe, log on, tune in, and see who we're hanging with next. Awesome. Thank you so
Yay!
much.
Thank you.
That was fun.
That was fun. Thank you.
you.